Hello, it's Mr. Capiello. I'm recording this on Tuesday, February the 15th, 2022, but I hope that it'll stay relevant or I'll do additional recordings. And I was struck because I had a student come to me today because the report card's gone out and letters have gone home. We're required to send letters home if a student has not passed a class, which means that their promotion to the next grade level or to the next year is in doubt. But in high school, things are a little different. So I'm doing this video to hopefully provide a little bit of clarity as to what it means to be in high school, what the requirements are, and what you need to really be focused on in completing your high school education. And I hope this is for students and staff alike. You'll see the diplomas in my background, and that's a reminder that that's really what we're all here focused on, is helping to students to achieve their goals in completing high school. And there are a number of pathways, but the pathway that I'm going to be talking about today is the traditional pathway to graduation. And bear with me because I don't do a lot of these presentations. You should see me in the top right of your screen. Just getting my screen set up for the sharing exercise. So sit tight because the information I'm giving you is important. And if you're having trouble sitting through this presentation, you probably are having some trouble sitting through your classes. And just sitting through things that are sometimes a little boring is a part of growing up and being in high school. So stay tuned. So as I said, I'm Mr. Capiello. I'm one of the counselors. I'm a school social worker by training. And here's my presentation. Just for a little bit of background, and the years have been, this is an old slide, but I've been working as a professional social worker for 20 years. I do have my high school diploma. I also have a 2-year associate's degree, 2-year college degree in social sciences. My 4-year degree is in psychology, and I have a master's degree in social work. So that's just, but it all started with the high school diploma, which is why I share this with you. And I think that 754X is a great school, and we're good at so many things, and we're moving into greatness. Just as a little bit about myself, before I worked in schools, I worked for 2 different university hospitals as a mental health psychiatric social worker, working with children, adolescents, their families, in day treatment elementary school, in high school day treatment. So I had that background. And then I worked for a middle school, 1,000-student middle school that had both special education programs as well as traditional co-teach programs for students in special education, all towards their diplomas. And then I've been here for the past 7 years at our school for career development. So we're talking about diplomas, the regular high school diploma, which we do grant from here, which is the high school diploma that you can get from any high school here in New York City. And we're also talking about the high school equivalency diploma. And we also have students who finish and complete their time by getting their high school equivalency diploma, and they are equal and the same. It means that either you have a high school diploma or a high school equivalency diploma, and both documents are the basic certification that opens up many doors. Many employments and internships require that you have either the high school diploma or the high school equivalency diploma. And you can get a cap and gown and participate in graduation with either diploma. Here in New York City, there are over 496 high schools. We're part of that. What makes us different is that we are a special education high school. And what makes us different is we have classrooms with no more than 8 or no more than 12 students. And that's really the big difference, but it's the same classes. And you are part of a community across the state of New York of over 2,167 high schools that make up the public schools all over the state of New York. So here in New York State and New York City, there are over 2.5 million students. Here in New York City alone, we have 1.1 million students. Here in New York City, 183,000 students plus in special education. And here in District 75, we have 22,000 students in the District 75 schools, but probably about 1,000 of you who are taking regular education classes here in District 75. We're the only special education high school here in the Bronx in District 75 that has the regular education courses. Mr. Hohen, who's our principal, often reminds us that his expectations and our expectations are for students and staff alike, really, to be here every day, to be here on time every day, and also to attend to our classes and to do our work. As I mentioned, that the class sizes are a little bit smaller, but it's the same classes, same books, same test, and the differences are only the class sizes. So all students in New York State and New York City need to improve in reading and writing. Those are the foundation. You have 8 credits or 8 semesters or 8 terms rather of English classes here at the school. And those credits work your way up to taking the high school equivalence, high school exam in Regents English. We also offer algebra and geometry. You must pass one of those exams to get your high school diploma, or the math high school equivalency exam, one of those 3 exams to get your diploma. You also can take the Regents in Earth Science and the Regents in Living Environment, or take the high school equivalency exam in Science. But for your science requirement for credits, you need to take 3 sciences in the Regents. Health classes is required, 1 credit of health during your high school career. You have to take physical education throughout your time in high school. You have to, in our school, we offer Spanish as our foreign language. You need 2 credits, which is a full year course in Spanish. You also have to have 2 credits in fine arts. We offer art and we offer yoga. And just as a little reminder, in New York City, the 2021 academic year, which we're in right now, runs from September 2021 to June 2022. But the DOE calls this the 2021 academic year. The fall term is from September to January, and the spring term is from February to June. And we've just begun the spring term. We run a summer term, which is called term 3, and it's the credit recovery term to make up a credit if you failed a class during the school year. So just again, an example is the Earth Science class is a full year course with 2 credits, a credit earned in January and a credit earned in June. And those are your credits. So for the high school diploma, I'm just going to do this first. If you're looking at the screen, and I think you'll be able to see my mouse, to graduate from high school, if you counted up all the boxes that have classes in them, it totals 44 credits, and that's what you need to graduate. You need 8 credits in English, 8 credits in social studies, 6 credits in math, 6 credits in science, 2 credits in foreign language, 2 credits in arts, the health credit, and the physical education credit. And then electives. And in our school, we have the woodworking elective. We had a course called Media Studies, the social emotional learning class. As some of you know, we can take elective credits at Co-op Tech in Manhattan or the Bronx. We have a student who's graduating in June who's currently taking 3 elective credits at the Co-op Tech in Manhattan. And so if you're working towards your high school diploma, you can take classes at other schools here in New York City and transfer those credits back to us at this school. I will go over this many times and you will get copies of it and you'll be able to look at your own transcript and compare. But keep in mind that in a traditional high school, in the regular ed buildings outside of District 75, this is set up to be done in 4 years. In our school, students are allowed to take extra time. Only really the students who don't need the extra time are usually transferring to community schools, but we welcome the students who choose to stay with us for additional years of support in order to meet these graduation requirements. You have to get the Regents, as I've said. If you see the high school diploma is the 44 credits I just showed you. You need to get a minimum of 65 in each course to get credit. And you also have to take the New York State Regents exam that is part of that and get a minimum of 55 to get credit for the Regents exam. The interesting thing about the high school equivalency diploma is that if you pass any New York State regents, English regents, algebra, global studies, US history, science, if you decide to switch when you're 17, if you decide to switch into the equivalency exam track, if you pass the English regents, it counts as the reading and writing high school equivalency exam. If you pass the algebra or geometry, it counts as the math exam. If you pass either the US history or global studies regions, it counts as the social studies high school equivalency exam. And if you pass either earth science or living environment, it counts as the science exam. So those are important because there are different pathways to graduation, and it all equals either the high school regents diploma or the high school equivalency diploma, which are all equal. And that is just a very brief overview of getting your diploma. So people are nervous about, making up time. There's plenty of time to make up. Focus on completing the courses that you're enrolled in now. We do have students that can take classes at another campus. If they are doing so well in their classes here and want to take an evening class for credit to transfer that credit back, you can. We have the Transfer High School, which some of our students go to up the street, Jill Chaffis Transfer High School, which is one of many transfer high schools. We also have partnerships with other District 79 schools here in the neighborhood where you can get your high school equivalency exams done and complete your high school diploma. So I just don't want people stressing. Start with here and now. Focus on the tasks that are set before you today. And I hope that this brief overview gives you something to reflect back on. And I will be meeting with each of you individually. But as a starting point, I just want you to review this video. And if you got to the end of it and feel totally overwhelmed, please just know that I will meet with you individually and go over this. And I'm really looking forward to you having a good spring semester as we wrap up the year. And I'll look forward to seeing you back here soon.